So the World Central Kitchen is a charity that works in Gaza. And what happened is that the Israelis, on purpose, they purposely attacked their vehicles. And the way this has unfolded, the lies that have been told, it's abysmal. And let me explain something to you, because the reason they're talking about this, the only reason that Western officials are bringing this up, is not because they care. There have been over 160 UN staff killed in Gaza, and they didn't care. And people from all sorts of other charities who've come to Gaza and seen atrocities, nobody cared. The only reason that, I'm going to read you these statements now, the only reason that David Cameron, Rishi Sunak, and Joe Biden and the White House care, in quotation marks, is because they're trying to take your attention away from the fact that Israel bombed the Iranian embassy in Damascus. I mean, as I said previously, with all due respect to the martyrs of the World Central Kitchen and the work that they did in Gaza, on an international level, right, because I'm specialized in international relations, the bombing of an embassy takes precedence. You can't compare the two. It's not because I wish it so. I'm just explaining how it is. The bombing of an embassy on purpose, I mean, this has never happened. We have a so-called state, the Israelis, right? A so-called state bombing the embassy of another state in a third country. This has never happened in history. The only other case that resembles this is when the Americans bombed the Chinese embassy when they carved up Yugoslavia, remember? And they killed three Chinese diplomatic staff who work at the embassy. But at the very least, and again, I still have the feeling that they did it on purpose, but at the very least, you could argue that the Americans apologized, and Bill Clinton was profusely sorry and profoundly sorry. And nevertheless, you know, there is a difference here, because the Israelis do not even, they are so malicious, they don't even acknowledge that they did the strike. We all know that it's the Israelis. This is a fact. But they don't even acknowledge that they carried out this attack, never mind apologize for it. So there is a difference here. Let me proceed. Here's Guterres from the UN, the Secretary General, saying the devastating Israeli strikes that killed the World Central Kitchen personnel yesterday bring the number of aid workers killed in this conflict to 196, including more than 175 members of our own UN staff. This is unconscionable. Yes, it is, and I wish he would actually do something about it, because as Secretary General, he should be pulling his hair out. In any case, this is what the vehicle looks like. You see how precise this hole is. This is a drone strike, okay, just so we are clear. The logo of the World Central Kitchen is on the roof. You can make out the words. They're upside down, but you can still read them. And look at the hole where the missile struck. You cannot, no serious person can argue that this was done by accident. This was done on purpose with acute precision. Just like the Iranian embassy bombing, by the way. Funny. Isn't it funny how the Israelis can be so precise when they wish it so? Right? But for some reason in Gaza, they just keep taking building block down after building block. In any case, this story is all the more harrowing because we have confirmation that they didn't just hit one vehicle. This is in the Israeli media. Let me read to you what Haaretz, which is an Israeli daily, look what they wrote. It's quite harrowing. Okay? So, just so you see the video before I proceed, by the way. Just look at the video. Look how precise that is. How intentional. You see this car as well? So let's look at what happened. So the attack was carried out by Hermes 450 drone, okay? And what happened is that the World Central Kitchen dispatched 3 cars from a warehouse with 7 volunteers in them, 2 dual national Palestinians, so from the US and Canada, and 5 citizens belonging to Australia, the UK, and Poland. So these cars left, and then they're being observed, all right? And this is along a pre-approved route, okay? So this is worked out in advance with the Israelis, so there's no possible way that they can say by accident, oh, we hit you, we didn't know that you were driving here. It's worked out in advance. The NGOs tell the Israelis, don't fire, we are going to use this street. Can we use the street? Is the road okay? Tomorrow at this time, they say yes, okay, fine. So the war room of the unit responsible for security of the route ordered the drone operators to attack one of the cars with a missile. Some of the passengers were seen leaving the car after it was hit. So remember, they're observing this from up in the sky with the drone. Some of the passengers were seen leaving the car after it was hit and switching to one of the other 2 cars. They continued to drive and even notified the people responsible that they were attacked, but seconds later, another missile hit the car. So they tell the Israelis in advance, we're going to be driving here tomorrow. The Israelis fire at them anyway. Then while they're being attacked, they tell the Israelis, hey, stop firing at us. And what do the Israelis do? They fire a second missile. The 3rd car in the convoy approached, and the passengers began to transfer to it the wounded who had survived the 2nd strike. Okay, so they're putting the wounded in the 3rd car. But then a 3rd missile struck. All 7 of the World Central Kitchen volunteers killed in the strike. As a result, they halted their services and turned back the ship that was supposed to go to this pier. I mean, this is so... It's so malicious and conniving and evil. This was done on purpose, without question. 3 times they fired on them. They knew exactly who they were. They had even agreed on this route. They could see them live, and they fired on them 3 times. And then these people pretend to care. David Cameron says, I spoke with the Israeli Foreign Minister, Israel Katz, to underline that the deaths of the World Central Kitchen aid workers in Gaza, including 3 British nationals, are completely unacceptable. Israel must urgently explain how this happened and make major changes to ensure safety of aid workers on the ground. Explain how this happened. What do you mean, explain how this happened? I've just demonstrated to you with information that is in the public realm what happened. These people were struck on purpose. This guy's the foreign secretary. He is privy to intelligence. He is a cabinet minister in Britain, and he doesn't know what happened. What a disgusting liar. What a disgusting liar he is. And just like Rishi Sunak, the same thing. This shocking strike. What do you mean this shocking strike? You mean the assassination? Again, Israel must explain how this tragic. They always use this exact same phrasing. All of them, whether it's the British government or the American government, they say, we've reached out to the Israelis. We're requesting some more information. We don't know. This is how they answer questions from the press. Oh, I haven't seen that report yet. Yeah. We're waiting for the Israelis to tell us, how they killed our people on purpose, because it's obviously not clear to us. We need to, we need to stall for a bit. I mean, they're so disgusting, really. They're so disgusting. They have no shame. These people have no shame whatsoever. And then the funny thing is that you've got this Israeli former spokesperson saying the IDF expresses its deepest condolences and sorrow tragic mistake. I mean, they think that this compares to previous things. This just shows us that the Israelis and Americans operate the same. They both kill aid workers on purpose. That's all he's confirming. This guy is such an idiot. To come here and say, yes, well, this sort of thing happens, it just, no, it doesn't. It doesn't happen. It's calculated, it's cold, it's cruel, and it's evil. It doesn't just happen. It's not a mistake. Please understand this. The Western politicians know what happened. They know that Israel killed these people, and the Israelis are lying, and no one is putting them in check. It's unbelievable. Truly scandalous. Look at this clown also.
Last night, an incident took place in Gaza that resulted in the tragic death of World Central Kitchen employees as they fulfilled their vital mission of bringing food to people in need.
So the vital mission of feeding the people that you are starving. Yes, I'm sure that that's so vital to you. I mean, if you're trying to starve people and then someone's coming to feed them, I think I understand now why you would actually blow their vehicles up. Doesn't help your genocide, does it?
As a professional military committed to international law, we are committed to examining our...
A professional military committed to international law. Please keep in mind, this is after they bombed the Iranian embassy, okay, that he filmed this. As a matter of fact, this exact clown, man, I have to show you this. Actually, I'll show you in a second. There's another video of him talking about that. But can you imagine these words coming out of his mouth? A professional military. Do you know how the Israeli military started? I will never stop repeating this because of how important it is. The Israeli military started out as a group, a bunch of terrorist groups, right? Irgun, Haganah, and then they had also Lehi or Stern Gang. They're terrorist groups. The British government classified them as terrorist groups. They put bombs in London. They massacred Arab villagers, committed the most obscene stuff. I mean, you're seeing it again now in Gaza. They were doing this back in 48 as well. They're terrorist groups, literally.
Operations thoroughly and transparently. I just spoke to WCK founder, Chef Jose Anders, and expressed the deepest condolences of Israel Defense Forces to the families and the entire World Central Kitchen family. We also express sincere sorrow to our allied nations who have been doing and continue to do so much to assist those in need. We have been reviewing the incident in the highest levels to understand.
What he's really saying is this. He's saying, when he says doing so much to assist, he means giving us the weapons for the genocide. Also, sorry, but the Israelis don't give a rat's ass about British citizens or American citizens or Australian citizens. They will happily kill us. And I'm not kidding. And they've done this before. They will kill us. At the drop of a hat, they will kill us. And they have done it before. Look up the USS Liberty. That's a ship, a US ship that they attacked on purpose. Look up the King David Hotel bombing. I've done videos on all these topics. They're on the channel. Just look them up. They will massacre British citizens at the drop of a hat. They don't care. And they manufactured, they forged British passports, American passports, Australian passports to go commit an assassination, to carry out an assassination in Dubai. This is about 10 years ago. They don't give a shit. The only respect that Israelis have for a British passport is when they need a forged one so they can assassinate someone. They're scum. These people are scum. They are terrorists. They are nothing but terrorists, and they massacre people, no matter who.
The circumstances of what happened and how it happened. We will be opening a probe to examine this serious incident further.
I think we've heard enough. But the cynical reaction is really disgusting. Do you know, I've seen messages. I've seen let me explain something to you. You have Israelis sharing the photos of the aid workers' dead bodies. These aid workers. They've been photographed. I'm not going to show you because I can't, but they were photographed with their passports, their IDs. And the Israelis have been sharing them and writing this. They write, for example, the quote, "The pig died," unquote. Or, quote, "This Australian whore will probably no longer get to jump with the kangaroos at Sydney's amusement park," unquote. That's what Israelis are writing about the aid workers that they murdered. Here's another one. "Say good morning to the whore Polish guy too, who will now be a senior partner of his ancestors, the soldiers of Adolf Hitler." I mean, here's another one. "Our unkosher meat night announces with sorrow the death of the head chef of the omelette bread restaurant in Jabalia." They're basically making fun of the dead bodies. I mean, the twisted, sick culture that Zionism infects people with is really something else. It's really something else. Do you think that Britain is going to do anything about this? Do you think that they will stop giving Israel weapons? Here's the Shaitanyahu himself, the devil.
לצערנו ביממה האחרונה היה מקרה טרגי של פגיעה לא מכוונת של כוחותינו באנשים חפים מפשע ברצועת עזה. זה קורה במלחמה, אנחנו בודקים את זה עד תום, עומדים בקשר עם הממשלות ונעשה הכל כדי שהדבר הזה לא יישנה שוב.
I mean, he's half laughing, like he's recording a video where he's saying, "Sorry guys, the party's cancelled, you know, I couldn't get the ingredients and the stuff together." He's so cavalier about the whole thing. He's like, "Yeah, you know, we killed some people, whatever." I mean, also this thing like innocent people in the Gaza Strip. You've killed 32,000 innocent people in the Gaza Strip. Most of the people that they butchered are women and children. And even the men. Why do people assume that, you know, if you're a man, this automatically makes you something else? Women are also resistance fighters sometimes, if that's your criteria. But in any case, they've killed tens of thousands, 15,000 children. Why did Netanyahu not record an apology video for the 15,000 he killed? Why didn't David Cameron post a tweet and cut off arms sales to the Israelis for the 15,000 children that they've killed? You know, they only give a shit when it's 3 British citizens. To hell with these people. All they're trying to do is distract and divert attention from the embassy bombing. Mark my words, this is what they're doing. They do not care. Normally, they would have never made the minimum, the bare minimum of this effort to post videos or even publish statements. They wouldn't do the bare minimum. It's only because of the embassy bombing they're trying to divert attention. That's all.